Okay, let's learn a little bit more about button actions. And most of the cases, these ones, if you're already using a template, are already configured to do what it means to be done. So we're over here in our funnel that we just created, and we are going into the opt-in page. And over there in the opt-in, we have already a name and email to be submitted. So we have name and email, and we have the button to sign up. And we don't have to do anything because the template already gives us the option of what's next, which is basically submit that information and go to the next step in the funnel. But let's say, for example, you added a button or for whatever reason something happened, right? So we can go over here to set action. And when you click on set action, you have multiple type of actions that you could do. In many cases, the action that you want to do is either submit an order or submit a form. Submit an order is when you're on an order page and you have the shipping information, the credit card information, and you want to submit that. So ClickFunnels already identify what type of submission it will be. In this case, it will be just a submission of a form where we submit the name and the email address. The other option that you can choose is to open the pop-up window. The pop-up window will be this one, which we showed it last time. In this case, we don't have anything, but I'm just gonna add over here. Let's say we're gonna have here, I don't know, another input there, and we're gonna have another button there. And basically, let's say we don't have these ones here, right? Let's say these ones are not there. And we have a button like that. Click here to sign up. Person clicks and the pop-up basically pops up over here, right? And we want to put the email and the sign up. And you see over here these warnings. That means that this one input type is not set. So when I click over here, even though it says your email address here, that's kind of like the default. I have to select the input type. And over here you have multiple type of things. And we're gonna select email address. And that will recognize that, hey, the email address will go there. And the sign up button will be a set action to submit the form, right? So now what we have done, let's save it and preview it so it makes sense. We basically say over here that the action is to open the pop-up, and the pop-up will submit the form, right? So we come over here, we click over here, we have the pop-up, we add our email address here, let's say this one, and then sign up, and it will go to the next page in the funnel. Perfect. So going back to the design, let's take a look what else we have over here on set action. Another set action is open Facebook opt-in. So Facebook opt-in is basically, hey, if you want the person to submit their information using the Facebook credentials. So let's take a look at this one. So I come over here, I click here, and that's when it redirects to Facebook, and it says, hey, log in with your Facebook account. And once you log in, probably you have done that in other pages, it will tell you, hey, Facebook, this page wants to this page wants to have access to your information. Let's say, for example, your name, your email addresses, probably your contact information, right? And that's how basically, rather than the person filling out the form over there, you basically collect everything from their Facebook account. The next action that we have here is go to a website URL. So let's say you have, I don't know, it's the end of the funnel or anything, and you want to send them to another page, another funnel or something, right? So when we set up a different page URL, just make sure you remove this hashtag, because if you put over here, so for example, I don't know, like let's say we go to Google, right? If we put that way, it's gonna have an error because that's not the entire site. The entire site starts without the hashtag. So let's make sure remove the hashtag, and you can say open in the same window or open in a different window. And then if we save it, let's preview that one. And then when we click here, it will open a new window and it will go to Google. Perfect. Then let's take a look at the next action, which will be go to the next step in the funnel. So this one does not submit your form. Even over here it gives you an alert. it just basically goes to the next funnel. For whatever reason you don't want to submit information or you don't have any information, you just want them to go to a next funnel, so you can just click over here and it automatically goes to the next funnel. Over here you can scroll to a specific section of the page. So let's go over here and let's say this one you want to automatically scroll over here. You want them to read the success story, right? Well, you have to first figure out which section is this one. So remember that we have different sections over here. So you can come over here to manage and you have all the sections here. You have 4 sections. This background overlay that basically is that first part. You have the bottom angles, which are basically those 3 boxes in white. You have the background overlay, which is the success story, and you have the section, which is the bottom section. So you want to move to the background overlay. That's how it's called. So we come over here, we set the action to scroll to a different row or section of the page, right? So our was the background overlay section, right? So we go back, we save it, we want to preview, and then when we click here, you see it automatically comes to this section. Of course, it will go a little bit down, but this is the bottom of the page, so it cannot go down. If not, this one will be upper here. And that's most of it. Now, this one will be interesting. Show or hide action. Now, over here, you can show or hide elements. Let's say, for example, when they click here, you want to hide this book, right? So actually, let's see. Let's suppose, for example, to make it easier, because I don't think I have. Yeah, let's add another image over here. So let's search for an image over here. I don't know. Let's search for laptop, and let's put this image over there, just for an example purposes. So let's add that image here. But let's say this image. So one of the properties that you can do over here, and we explored it last time, you can hide it. So we're hiding that one. It's not there. But if you want to undo, you can come to elements and manage, and that's where you can see the image is hide. So we have that image hidden, and here we have this one. So when the person clicks over here, we want to replace this by the laptop. So we come over here, we set the action, and we say, hey, show this element, and the element you're gonna have to check what element you want, and you can say, hey, hide this other element. Now here is gonna be a little bit tricky, because if you saw it, all this blue thing is an element. Let's go back again over here, because this is where a lot of people sometimes get a little bit confused. So you see what right now I'm highlighting, it will be the element. So it will be that book. So let me actually come over here and manage this image so we can see clearly. So you see that this laptop is in the same element as the book. So if we hide the entire element, it's gonna hide the laptop too. So what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to create another element over here, and we're gonna drag this laptop over here, and that's where you're gonna have a different element. So I'm not gonna hide right now the laptop, so we can see these things in action. So we come over here and we say show this element. So let's say later on we hide this one, right? But right now we want to show it. So we move over here and we say, hey, we want to show this element, right? And we want to hide this other element. So let's say we want to hide this entire thing to make it easier, right? So let's come over here and let's hide this element, right? Now let's hide this one. Perfect. So what we have done is, like, when we click this one, it will hide this entire blue element and it will appear the laptop book, right? So we save and we preview. So when we click here, you see the entire element disappear and now we have the laptop. So this is like a very simple thing. The only ways that I've seen this work is when you have the, let's say for example, multiple products. Let's say product A and product B. And when they click over here, product A, it will just display the information on product A. When they click on product B, it will just display information on product B. Aside from that, I don't see why you may be using, but I think it will be good for you to know that it's available for any reasons that you need to use. So those are all the edit action buttons that you can have either over here, or as we saw it over here also in the pop-up, you can also have those type of actions. All of them. All the buttons have the same type of actions. So go around, explore a little bit more, see what makes more sense. In many cases, the action that is used the most is submit order, submit form. That's the one that most likely is going to be used in most of your pages. But it's also good to know what else is available. So that's why I'm going more in detail in each of those steps. So I hope that's helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.